Be sure to cook.
Welcome back to another episode of Be Sure to Cook. Today, we're going to be making a chicken Spanish dish. So stay tuned and let's do this. Today on my show, I am so happy to make this dish because this dish reminds me of my grandfather. The first time I ever cooked him something, I made this dish up and I was so happy to make it because I had just got paid. I had a job. I was babysitting and I got paid for it. I went to the store and I just picked up all these different ingredients and put them together. And I cooked this dish for my grandfather and I want to prepare this dish for you. When I made this dish, my grandfather sat at the table and watched me do everything. And then he turned around after I served him and said, "Do you know this dish is a Spain dish? They used to make this dish when I was in the service." And it just blew my mind because I did not know that what I was creating was already created. So I'm going to create this dish for you. We're going to be starting off, we're going to be using chicken. We're going to be using garlic, onions, mushrooms, different types of carrots, and other things that we're going to be putting in here. So don't forget about the parsley. We're going to be using a whole bunch of different things. So let's get ready to prepare this dish. Okay, I have my chicken here that I'm going to cut out of the bag. I got this chicken from it's called a Whole Foods. It's a grocery store for people that, for organic meats and stuff. And it's called Whole Foods. And this chicken I have gotten, I'm going to rinse this off. Okay, I got a couple things that I'm just going to put in. I've got a stalk of celery that I'm just going to put in here for the flavor. I have garlic. As you see, I'm peeling off this garlic. I got a little strainer here that catches everything from the bottom of my sink here, which I love that. And little stuff like, when I'm doing garlic or whatever, I am just going to crush this garlic and throw a garlic. This garlic is for when I've got these celery leaf sticks. I'm just going to run a knife where I've already rinsed these and I'm just going to throw those in there. Okay, so I'm just trying to season this up. I've got some onion powder because I'm not going to put a whole onion in here. Oops. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit. I think I opened up the big side. That's enough sprinkle. I've got some peppercorns whole, and I'm just going to throw those peppercorns in there whole. Okay, these are the peppercorns. You can get, you can get them whole if you crush your own pepper. This is really neat. I've got a knob that shows fine all the way to large. I have some thyme here, and I put it in a little jar. I'm going to sprinkle about 1/4 tablespoon of thyme in there. And then I'm going to put all the seasons that I love because I love this stuff. And I'm going to sprinkle all of that over there. Okay, low sodium chicken broth. If you don't have low sodium and you don't, I'm going to actually use 2 cups because this takes 2 whole cups. It's 1 big ounce of that because I want this to cover all of this chicken. Plus, I'm going to use some water. Same amount of water to same amount of chicken broth that you use. So I got unsalted or low sodium. But if you want salt, you can put a little salt in there if you want. You're just getting the broth. I'm just making a chicken broth. I just want it to be covered up with chicken. There we go. We're going to put this on our stove on a medium. A low, slow cook. You can crank it up high, then you can crank it down and make sure you got it going and bubbling and everything. Then you turn it down on medium. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to put this on there. All we do now, guys, all we need is a top to go along with this. We're ready to go. Okay, once again, I am using this electric stove. You just plug it up. Comes with 2 eyes. Oh my God, my husband bought this for me. I have a brand new stove, guys. I have one of those really nice kind of industrial stoves. It's a glass top It is really nice. But I have fell in love with this because guess what? I don't have to worry about cleaning the stove. This just wipes down and you can tell, look at it. Look, I've been using this to death on both. I'm going to stick this on here. And as you see, this is on a maximum high. This will start boiling. I'm going to let this come up to speed, start boiling. Hey, I'm looking at about an hour. All right, this has been cooking for about an hour. And I think this is completely done. But I'm going to flip it over. Yes, it is done. Let's cook this for, it's falling off the bone, which is supposed to anyway. So I'm going to take this out. I'm just giving it a couple minutes. I'm turning this down. I'm going to take this out because this chicken is completely done. And we're going to put it in a big bowl. Okay, I am going to drain the juice, getting all the vegetables and gizzards or whatnot that's left into this pot. Okay, so now that we got our chicken out of the pan and put it into a bowl and I got a top on it, we're going to work with some of these vegetables. So these are baby carrots. I'm just going to cut. Look at that. I'm only going to do a couple. Of course, I'm definitely going to get this purple one. I like it. I wish I could have got more purple ones. I want a yellow one. I want a white one here. I want to work with a lot of them. Okay, I am cleaning up my carrots. Okay, so I have washed, rinsed, and I dried with a paper towel. And I also rinsed and dried with my knife. I gotta be careful, I don't want to cut my hand. Okay, so I'm going to take these carrots and I'm going to cut these carrots like a nice, pretty, fancy shape, sorry. I want color into this dish. And we're going to cook I think I'm going to use this whole one because that purple is a little smaller than everyone. We're going to get down on some of this white here. Now we're going to be doing some baby Bella mushrooms. And some people do use the stems. I prefer not to. I don't like them. I mean, it's the mushroom, you can, but I just don't. Okay, if you take your water, not run it really high, and you want to take your hand and you slowly want to rub around it. Not really hard, but just enough while the water drizzles down. And you need paper towels for this, guys. If you take it and you drizzle the water and you slowly take your hand, you can see the dirt come straight off there. And then you go around it slowly, but you're getting all the dirt, and you're putting them on a paper towel. Okay, guys, I've got a garlic clove here. Now, they usually come in different sizes, but this one's a pretty large size. It's just one. I mean, it's a whole thing. It's a big clove of them, but this is one that I took off there. Okay, you cut your garlic up. Okay, after I sliced it, I'm just gonna, of course, like I always do, run my knife over it very well. Okay, I've got the chicken that's cooled down. I'm gonna release the skin right off this. And it's cool enough for me to pull off all the skin. And it's still got a little bit of that juice in here that we're gonna still use. I just want to pull off the skin and bones. That's what we're looking for. We're going to get rid of all that. And all that skin. And getting all that meat away from the bone of the back of the skin. I don't like leaving That's the neck I don't need. And that's that oyster back there. I do want that oyster. And the rest of this, I don't care. Yep, yep, yep. And I'm gonna peel off the skin. Okay, I'm squeezing some olive oil into a pan, hot pan. Okay, I'm gonna add a small amount of garlic. Then I'm gonna add my carrots. With my carrots, it's in there and my garlic's cooking. I don't want it to burn my garlic. I had to cook with some carrots or something. I got some onion powder. Okay, you gotta season up these vegetables here, because without vegetables, they're plain. A little bit more olive oil in there. Olive oil doesn't hurt anybody. It's just natural olive oil. It's like a vegetable. So we got some Mrs. Dash just going over these wonderful carrots and some paprika. You can use your seasons, the seasons that you like. And I'm gonna reduce the heat on this. It's up kind of really high. Okay, I got a little onion here that I'm gonna dice because I want some onion in this dish. Okay. Giving me some onion for flavor and color. Okay, some of them are whole and I cut the gray big ones in half. Okay, then I'm gonna add some more of that garlic on the side because I added the rest of that. A little bit more olive oil to get that the fresh garlic pretty good. Probably not going to add probably any more garlic to this dish. That was a big clove. So do about a medium-sized clove or a small one. Depends on how much you're making. I'm going to sprinkle a little thyme inside of this dish. I've got some tomato paste. It's Italian tomato paste. Okay. A tablespoon of the paste goes in here. Mixing that up nice and great. This is going to become a really great dish. Okay, now I'm going to add some tomatoes. These are far roasted tomatoes. Oh yeah, that's where the juice comes in. I'm going to add a can of that. Far roasted tomatoes. These are organic far roasted tomatoes. Gives it a good flavor. Wonderful flavor. I got some red cooking wine. It's a gourmet can. I'm just going to add a little in. Not even a half a cup. Okay, a little kosher salt. I'm talking about like a pinch or so of kosher salt. Needs a little salt and a little cracked black pepper. This is going to cook down and all my vegetables are going to shrink, which I want that to shrink. I'm going to stir that up. I'm going to put my chicken in here and let that all cook after I get these vegetables cooked down. To cut down on the taste of the tomatoes, the bitter taste, you need to add about 1/4 teaspoon of sugar, or enough to just get rid of that tomato strong taste, is what I call it. But it's like a bitter taste. I'm going to add my meat with the sauce. So I don't want all that sauce to cook down. I want it actually to cook with the meat. Okay, I'm going to add 1/3 cup of the chicken broth that we had in the pan. Remember, we had that extra chicken broth left? And that chicken broth, you don't want to really get rid of that. Let me tell you why. Because if you get rid of that, You can use you can't use it for other dishes to flavor a lot of stuff. This is really going to have to cook. But you take it, you put it in a Ziploc, cool it down, take it and put it in a Ziploc bag. And once you put this in a Ziploc bag, you freeze it and you can use it for any other dishes, anything that you need chicken broth. Okay, with this dish, I have shredded my meat and put it into my sauce. And there it is, still simmering because I got to cook those vegetables down. This all comes on a bed of rice, a rice of your choice. I'm just doing some white rice. You can also do brown rice. So just cook you some rice. I did a cup of rice so everyone can get a little bit of it. So, all right, I got a little parsley that I am going to cut up here and put on top of our dish. Okay, we rinse these off. And now I am chopping these up. All right, I chopped up a little parsley. I'm going to put a little parsley, bam, in here. I'm going to stir a little green parsley in here. Great. It's going to make it really delicious. Okay, so I have got my Spanish chicken dish all ready. And guess what? This is the rice. And it's nice and fluffy and it's not sticky. And you can cook this rice and try to make it firm and easy. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a bed of rice and we're going to lay a bed of rice down, just like so. But you want it like on top of this. It's delicious. Getting all that rice off. And then here is our Spanish chicken dish. And it's got the wine that's in here. Oh, it's so delicious. And what we do is we take some of this and we put it on top, getting some of the chicken, big chunks of chicken in here. It's a lot of chunks of chicken. Look at that. And this is what we call our Spanish rice, our Spanish chicken dish. Okay, and here it is, our Spanish chicken dish. Don't forget, you all put a little sugar to get that bitter taste out, or you don't have to if you don't like it. Make sure you use these ingredients and get a good, clean, long rice. And cook it where it's not sticky and it's loose and fluffy. And it is the perfect dish. Here it is. I hope you enjoyed this dish because guess what? I didn't do it alone. You and me, we did this together. So please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hey, and come back because we can make plenty more dishes. So, hey, in that case, see you next time. Bye. Be sure to cook. Today we're going to be doing meatball subs. We're going to do everything homemade. And I'm going to add a little Creole seasoning inside of there. I'm going to give this a great stir. Look at that, guys. I am good to go. I hear you. Yes. Oh my God, that is wonderful. So that was about 4 to 5